Hello, hello. How are you? All right. We can be rocking today. I'm excited. Okay. All right. Look, go ahead. Who likes a little bit of rock? All right. So, for those of you who do not know me, my name is Raven Woods. I'm the CEO and founder of Autism Mom Rocks IEP, and I help parents like you gain the knowledge and the confidence to become the CEO of their IEP meeting. Make sure you post below a 1 if it's your first through third time catching me live. Post a 2 below if you're an oldie but goodie. Make sure that you say hi and tell me where you are from. If you are on the group, okay, you need to click the link that I will post. It's also kind of scrolling. It's that https streamyard.com/Facebook. Kind of like you have that little circle thing when you message people on Facebook. That won't show up on the streaming device unless you guys go in, click that link, click yes, because groups are private. Okay, so make sure you go in and do that. Here, I will post it really quick. All right, so I just posted it. So for those of you who are in the group, make sure you click that. And then I haven't done it. I haven't had to. So click it. What I've been told from other parents is you literally click yes. You can see my picture. And then, kind of like Susan here, who is new, see how you can kind of see her avatar, or if you have a picture, that will show. Then I'll be able to know your name and I'll be able to respond back to you versus it would be empty and have no name. Okay. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. So today we are going to talk about, you asked for an IEP. Now what? Right now is the beginning of the school year. Some of you may have started school. Some of you may not have as of yet. But bottom line, if you're wanting an IEP meeting, that is something that you should do typically in the beginning of the year. Dependent on your relationship, if you feel confident that your IEP is good or not, your present level is on point to a T in order for your IEP to be put together at all in the most appropriate way and be adequate. Bottom line, evaluations have to be made for that to happen, by the way. Lots of content for you guys coming up, membership coming up. All that content is going to be, there's going to be schedules of the 2 times that I go live each month, where it is live, meaning you and I are all on a Zoom together face to face, where we're going to learn about what to do in the IEP meeting. Not all about laws and all that other stuff that you're going to learn. But that's not the point of the membership. The point of the membership is when you either walk into that IEP meeting or turn on Zoom or Google Meet or whatever, you know what the hell you're doing. Okay. So when parents or anyone else, okay, requests an IEP meeting for their child, all right, there's certain things that have to happen. All right. Number 1, they have to hold that meeting within 30 days. All right. Number 2, they have to respond to you. And number 3, you have to receive a meeting notice invite. So some of them are called NOM, the notice of meeting. Some of them are called a meeting invitation. They're called various different things. Same thing, matter of semantics. However, that needs to have who is going to be at that meeting. All right. They don't have to give you all the details. Okay. But they have to say, okay, Raven Woods is going to be at the meeting. She's the general education teacher. Or Sarah Evans is going to be at the IEP meeting. She is the special education teacher. Okay. So you have to know who's going to be at that meeting. Okay. If you have an advocate, believe it or not, your advocate does not have to be listed. Okay. Don't be offended, advocates out there. You don't have to be listed. Who cares? All right. But everybody else has to be listed as their name and what they are. So sometimes it could be administrative representative, sometimes it could be special education teacher, so the titles there have to be there, but that's it. Okay. The other thing is You guys know how I feel about agendas and norms. They can literally, um, go somewhere. I think I talked about that the last time I was on live of how I responded to the norms of telling us, really, when the school district emails back, it's to the parent. Okay. Even though if the IEP advocate is emailing on the parent's behalf, it is on the parent's behalf. All right. So their response back is to the parent. And that's what they got to understand. Um, and the problem when you send norms is when you're telling somebody to stay on task and they're an adult, that is rude. It's disrespectful. Okay. To have, a proper way, etiquette, if you will, during an IEP meeting, sure, but there shouldn't be rules. Okay. This is in reference to a child. Okay. So when it comes to, I'll just speak on my behalf. When it comes to my child, there ain't no rules. I will ask you whatever I want regarding my child. I will say whatever I want. If someone is cussing you out at the school district or, attacking them personally, that's different. That's not what I'm talking about at all. But if things get heated, or if voices get raised or emotions are shown, that is normal. This is in regards to a child with special needs and their education and feelings, emotions. And I know me, I'm loud, and that's just me in general. And so, if I'm making a point, I don't talk like this. How are you? How's everything going? That is not me. Okay. And so if I say something, I'm very matter of fact. I'm to the point. I'm very direct. Some people can take that as, ooh, abrasive, but it's not. It's, when you are dealing, this isn't like how I would talk to, my friends. Hey, how are you? Normal. Um, I'm very straightforward to the point. I don't play games. I'm not there to hang out. I'm not there to be friends. This is a business meeting, and the business purpose is your child. Okay. So instead of, being the CEO and you're trying to generate revenue, you're the CEO generating an education regarding your child. You have to think of it as a business meeting, and decisions are made that are regarding your child. Okay. And as that CEO, that's not a boss, which is why I don't like norms, because nobody is the boss of anybody. Okay. We are adults and we should be able to carry ourselves as such. All right. Does that mean things are not going to get heated? Does that mean that things are not going to, voices aren't going to be raised, emotions aren't shown, parents won't cry, whatever, districts won't cry? Bottom line, that is normal. So for them to think that those things aren't going to happen is a little bit ridiculous and, not really appropriate for them to be thinking. All right. Or something's wrong. All right. If there's not emotion or things that, happen that are just not controllable in IEP meetings, that isn't normal. All right. I tell parents all the time, emotion is your worst enemy. Okay. It is. All right. You got to put your face on, like I say, when you walk into that meeting or turn on that Zoom. But you can take your face off when you leave, and you can cry and you can let it out. Okay. But that is easier said than done. That took me, there's times where in the past several years that I have cried in IEP meetings for the frustration that has happened. It is frustrating, and I fight for these kids. And when school districts are just being so difficult, it gets very tiring. And so now I put myself in a parent's shoes and how they feel, because I have been there. And it's important to understand that when I say emotions are your worst enemy, that is easier said than done. And that took me years. And that is on top of, there is still emotion there every once in a while when it comes to frustrations and so forth. But I'm very good at explaining to teams, look, this is how I am. This is how I work. I like the process to go as smoothly as possible, but the process is going to be the process. Okay. The process isn't going to skip, jump, and be everywhere and be chaotic. All right. Questions are going to get answered. In IEP meetings, there's no rushing. Oh, we'll get back to that. No, 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 no. If we're on that subject, if that's come up somehow, some way, we're going to talk about it. That's how it works. All right. You're not pushing it off. I'll forget at that point. All right. We're talking about right now. Okay. And you can say that too. All right. Don't let them push you. Oh, we'll talk about your questions. We'll answer questions at the end, because you know damn well what do? They end that meeting. All right. Stop doing that. Don't do that. Okay. Do not do that. Do not allow that to happen. I will sit on a subject and say, no, we're talking about this. I've done it before for 2 hours. Do I feel like a complete idiot? Yeah. But if you don't do it, then guess what? You're the pushover, not them, you. So you got to stick it out. All right. Stick it out. If it's 2 hours arguing that you're not moving from that topic until you finish that conversation and then move on to the next. I mean, doesn't that make sense? All right. We're talking about this topic. Okay. We talk about it and we finish it. We move on to the next topic. We talk about it and we finish it. All right. And results need to happen. All right. I know I'm getting into the IEP meeting, but results need to happen. Decisions need to happen. Okay. When you're in an IEP meeting, you're talking about a subject and an issue, or going through the IEP, creating the IEP. There's no, oh, we'll take notes. I'll tell you, if there's a couple things that will pluck my ever loving nerve to make me go off in a meeting, and that's one of them. Take notes all you want. I don't give a shit. We're still going to talk about it. We're still going to collaborate. And that's what collaboration is. We're going to collaborate. That means you bring your ideas and thoughts and opinions, and I'm going to bring mine, and we're going to put the facts in there and everything else, and we're going to come to a decision, because that's what leaders do. So if they're not a leader, then they're not going to come to the table with an answer for you, number one. Okay. But number two, I problem solve. They need to be in the problem solving career. All right. When you're working with kids and they have special needs and you're working on their education, you got to be a problem solver. That's just how it is. All right. So, you come to the table ready to solve problems. All right. And when we're talking about things in the IEP, it is essential to get through something, solve it, and then move forward, versus, oh, we'll get to your questions at the end. And then you're what? Moving back to the present levels? That's just dumb. All right. If your question's on the present levels, you're trying to handle things in the present levels, handle it there. Then move on. All right. If you're on goals, why would you ask stuff about goals at the very end? No, you need to be contributing and creating that goal together. All right. When I'm looking at goals with the team, it's like, all right, let's rewrite this. And they better get out their program and they better start typing as I talk. And we collaborate together as they're typing. Okay. That's how it should go. Not, oh, we'll change it and get back to you. We'll send you another draft. No, watch it happen. If not, they send you another draft. There's mistakes. You got to get another meeting going, or they may change it or they may not change it. Then there's more mistakes. And no, have them write it right there. They can. Don't let them tell you they can't. They can. They pull up their program that they use, that they put all their IEP stuff on, and somebody shares their screen and they type away. It's easy. Don't let them tell you they don't do that. They do. I can guarantee you. Okay? All right, let's move back. Back. We're rewinding. All right, so you asked for a IEP meeting. It has to be had, scheduled, etc. within 30 days. And you need to have that meeting noticed. You need to know who's going to be at that meeting. You need to know everything that they're saying that meeting is going to be about. Okay? Just last week, I told you guys that I had received a meeting notice. We asked for the meeting for 3 reasons. And they had the audacity to not put our reasons for which we requested the IEP meeting in the meeting invite, which by the way is very important, by the way, because they can say nothing that you're going to talk about is going to be discussed. If they don't put in there what you want to discuss, it doesn't have to be discussed. So again, we requested the meeting. They tried to change it to an annual. They tried to add placement into there. First, they said, I think you guys may remember if you were watching me. First, they said, oh, we're going to discuss the possibility of placement. Then they talked about and changed it and sent us another and said, oh, we're just talking about placement, meaning they already did it. So mom and I and dad are like, they changed. What's different? Because we have, go back and listen to last week, but we have 17 million meeting invites. They all say something different. All right. So what's on that meeting invite is essential. Go make them rewrite it. Okay. Because believe it or not, it is very important. All right. If somebody's not there that is on the meeting invite, you question that. You say that person's on the meeting invite. Why aren't they here? I'm supposed to get an email. I'm supposed to approve that it's okay for them not to be here because you put them on the meeting notice, or they could be a required member, one or the other. Okay. Hi, Bridget. How are you? Hi, Deborah. Hi, Erin. Hi, Susan. Hi, Bridget. Hi, Leandra. All right. Yes. Post a 1 below if it's your first or third time catching me live. Post a 2 below if you're an oldie but goodie. So that is very, very, very important. Okay. Have them go back and rewrite it. Okay. That is important. And don't let them make an IEP something that is not what you requested. Now, this school district, I know what they were doing. All right. But maybe if you didn't know, you're like signing it, thinking it's an annual, thinking all your stuff's going to be talked about, thinking everything you requested that meeting's going to be discussed, everything else. It's not. They're going to say, well, we have to schedule another meeting for that. Come on, raise your hands. You guys know. You know that's how it's been, right? You think you're going to a meeting for X and then you're talking about Y, right? And then you leave all pissed off because nothing got answered. It wasn't what you expected because that's not what you requested. So to avoid the frustration, avoid the conflict there that creates a lot of animosity, all right, if you're requesting the IEP meeting, you better make sure that every reason you requested that meeting is in that meeting invite. Make sure it's in there. In the invite. Don't let them tell you otherwise. Don't let them tell you it doesn't need to be there. It needs to be there. Next, if it's not there, have them redo it. Say, I requested this meeting. This is why I requested this meeting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever the reasons are. You need to put those reasons into the meeting invite as to that's why we're having this meeting. If you all choose to have a meeting for any other reason, you can request a meeting as well from me. That's how it works. Now, all right. Working together, collaborating, coming together, wanting to do things as a team, right? Okay, we're going to talk about what I put in and requested this meeting to be about. That's going to be in the meeting notice. Now, had this team said, hey, we would like to make this an annual IEP because in September anyway, because this meeting's later on this week, the annual is in September anyway. Is it okay? Had they added our stuff? Is it okay that we talk about the things that you want to talk about, get through them, which is evaluations and concerns and so forth, and then we move on and make it an annual IEP meeting, I would have said absolutely no problem. No problem. Because what are they doing? They're acknowledging why we asked for the meeting. They're saying, hey, we're going to cover what you want to cover. And then we're going to change up what the meeting's about, the IEP meeting. And we're going to then move into the annual IEP. Okay. And even though we're requesting evaluations in the annual, what I say, if I'm requesting evaluations, that means, hey, we don't really know what the present levels are right this minute. All right. So we can, in the annual, amend some things in order to accommodate better until we have those evaluations, but we're not creating a new IEP until we have those evaluations done, which is a reason why you can actually extend and not have the annual IEP. And you can both agree to extend the annual date so that you can then get the evaluations. Then you have an annual, well, you'll have a review of the evaluations. Then you'll have an annual meeting. All right. So I've done it both ways. Some schools are like, oh, let's just meet and have the annual and then we'll amend it and then we'll, talk about the evaluation, blah, 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 whatever. I don't care which way they want to do it. I'm not going to argue. That's not a reason that I would, want to argue. Okay. If they're cool with, I like getting the evaluations done, then having a meeting. However, it is a good idea sometimes to have that annual to say, hey, we're not going to change up the IEP that much. We can add some things that the teacher wants to bring to the table, the parents want to bring to the table, throw that into the present levels as additions. And then also, if you want to tweak goals a little bit, if things have been mastered or whatnot, make them a little bit more difficult. I don't change the goals completely, just, build. And then the same thing with accommodations. Does anything need to be tweaked here? Does anything need to be tweaked in services? And then amend that. And it's on a standstill of what you're amending until you get those evaluations. And then you're able to put more adequate IEP together and your present levels are on point. Okay. Which is what creates your whole IEP. Okay. So those are things that you can do. All right. Now, when you request an IEP meeting, they have to get back to you typically within 14 days. Okay. Kind of like that PWN period, but there's really not a period, but they have to typically get back to you within 14 days. They can't just, a reasonable amount of time by when I've called different school districts, not districts, but the state, in regards to the district, they have always pretty much said that the reasonable time frame is 10 days. Okay, 10 school days. So I'm pretty big on sticking to that. I will let it go, 14 days total. And then I'm on their butt, okay, because they have to respond. And that is not just for an IEP. That is specifically if you're asking for evaluation or reevaluation. Okay. So they have to say, yes, well, let's do the evaluations, or no. If they say no, they have to provide you a PWN with grave detail as to why they denied it. And then you can, use your rights if you disagree with that in regards to dispute resolution. So that's really important to remember. All right. So that's it for today. All right. So I'm going to shut up. Look, 24 minutes. See, I'm getting better. I have topics for everything and all the lives. Finally, I got so organized. Oh my God. I cleaned my office. I got organized. I wrote all the topics for the lives. Make sure you follow me on TikTok. I'm going to start back on there. And so I'm excited. I have the first 3 months written out for the membership because the membership comes out in September. And, I'm going to have all what we're talking about. It's all going to be lined up in your membership. And again, remember, it's not like this. We're face-to-face on Zoom. All right. And so we will have conversations. I will be playing recordings. So everything that I talk about, I have the data and recordings and everything else to back it up. Okay. And so when I teach in the membership, what you do when you go into that IEP meeting, recordings are going to be part of it. You bringing recordings to the table if you wish to share and say, hey, what do you think about this? What did I say wrong? Because this is what they said. They didn't do this, or this. Or it could be you bring something to the table of a recording of what they said and it not being accurate, you not feeling it's accurate, it not being the law, et cetera, et cetera. And then we talk about that and we bring that to the table, which is going to be really, really, really cool. And I think really stand out in helping you and pushing you forward and learning the process. Okay. Um, so we have, don't forget, post a 1 below if it's your first through third time catching me live, a 2 below if you're an oldie but goodie, and make sure you tell me where you are from. Okay. All right. So Susan from Maine, I really want to go there. So I hear it's gorgeous in the fall. So welcome. Then we have, make sure you click the StreamYard.com Facebook. It's earlier up in the comments. If you're in the group, so that if you make a comment, I can see who you are. Then we have Bridget. My son is entering local school system very soon. He's 5, need this info. Good, good. Make sure that he is fully evaluated, formally evaluated, okay? And that multiple different evaluations are going to be done. We're actually going to be talking about evaluations, come this week and next week. I'm going to talk about what evaluations are out there, what they're for, who should get them, who should be giving them to your child. We're going to get into that because I want to take you through the process again. We're starting a new year. So we're going to talk about issues always. We're going to talk about, right now, we're talking about the beginning of an IEP meeting and requesting one. We're going to move into requesting evaluations because if your child has not had evaluations in over a year, I want you to go get evaluations again. And I want you to make sure that your present levels are on point. Okay. So we have, okay, so you're from Indiana, Bridget. Awesome. Susan says, what if one of the teachers have made accusations? Should this be brought up privately or at an IEP? It depends on what the exact accusation is. What's the accusation? So let me know what that is. I don't know what the accusation is, so I can't really say. But if you want to tell us, then I can help you, or if you want to private message me. So then we have Leandra from New Mexico. Yes, I'm glad you agree. Deborah, hello. All right. And then Sunflowers, you kill me because I always forget your first name. All right. We have Shelly. How are you? I still haven't gotten my son's behavior assessment. Oh my God, girl. You've got to get that. Like, why haven't you gotten it? What's going on? I mean, that's ridiculous. Like that should have been done. What is the holdup? I don't know what 2 below means. Okay, so post a 1 below. You'll put a number 1 if you're new, like I think you did earlier. So you'll put a 1 below. You'll just post the 1, like you said, first time here. So you'll just post a 1 below, and then a 2 below, like you like you did if it's your 4th time on. All right. So yes, that's what that means. All right. So now you guys know the things that need to be part of your request for an IEP meeting. All right. And even if it's flipped, okay, and they asked for the IEP meeting, all right, the same scenario, all right, just flipped. But you, all right, have a right to, just like they do, say, okay, I also want to discuss, and please put that into the meeting invite, meeting notice of meeting. Okay. Meeting notice of meeting, meeting invite, one of the 3. Fall is approaching soon. And if you come to Maine, I recommend Arcadia. Yes, I want to go to Arcadia. Okay, yes. I'm new. So you're number 1. All right. All right. So that's how that goes. But make sure, because the school district can say, hey, we'd like to talk about this, but they cannot make your meeting that you request an annual, which is totally different, if that's not where you're at. You're trying to solve problems, you're trying to do whatever. and they're trying to make it an annual just so it's convenient for them. Okay. The IEP meetings being scheduled, etc., we don't have to do it at the convenience of them. Now, if we can work it out to where that happens, awesome. But if not, we don't have to work to make things convenient for them. Okay. So that's how you need to look at that. So if you can work together and it works out and they talk about your stuff and then you move on to an annual and it works, fine. I've done it many times. But if it doesn't, don't feel guilty about that. You asked for that meeting. Okay? So don't feel guilty because you're not able to, make it an annual or whatever, or you're confused or you need, some clarification of how that works. Just message me or ask it um, on a live or in the Q&A or anything. All right. And if you're not part of the group, make sure you go to Autism Mama Rocks IEP group and join the group. All right. That's where a lot of questions can be asked and dialogue happens. I will be going live this week with just a Q&A. That's it. I won't be, I still talk about topics, but it's really about you and answering questions for you. Okay. So if you have any questions regarding requesting an IEP meeting or how that works or the process or what needs to happen, make sure you post below and I will respond. Tag me and that will get my response even faster because I don't check Facebook all the time. So if you tag me, then I know that you're asking me a question. So there's an annual meeting for like their evaluators and regular meetings that a parent requests. Well, I wouldn't call it like annual meetings, for like their. So no, an annual meeting is a meeting that you have to have on a yearly basis to discuss your child's IEP. All right, make any adjustments, changes, etc. But you or the school district is allowed to request an IEP meeting at any time throughout the school year for any reason. Okay. So that could be for a change, it could be for an issue, it could be for whatever you need it to be. You or they have the right to request an IEP meeting. There are required team members that have to be there. That is you, hopefully. The special education teacher, general education teacher, an administrator, LEA, who kind of oversees the meeting. And that's it. All right. So if you want other members, which most of the time they're there, make sure they're on the meeting notice. But if you want, say, speech or OT or whoever there, you need to put that into your request. Leandra, been member since 2019 for all the new worth following. Oh, thank you, Leandra. I appreciate that. Yeah, I took a 2.5-month break just because I was like, you know what? I'm probably going to lose some of my following because I just like dropped off this earth. But I needed a mental break. I really did because it was crazy. It was crazy. So like just stress between, COVID and then the following year, it was just took a toll. But I'm back and it's good. So I want you guys to think about if you want a meeting, all right, think about, requesting a meeting if your child hasn't had an evaluation in a year, and requesting for a formal evaluation. And we're going to talk as we go this week about evaluations, the different types of evaluations. What do they evaluate? What ages do different evaluations, do, because evaluations are within an age group. Okay. You can't just give any evaluation to any child for any reason. There's evaluations for children that is specific to nonverbal. There's specifics to, just different types of things, certain assessments for like to measure if the child has different signs of dyslexia, all kinds. And most schools are required now to evaluate for that. So if my son should get in a fight, what rights do I have if they haven't did his behavior assessment on his IEP? So make sure you have a letter in that you're requesting FBA, which if you did a FBA request, reference the last time you requested. So, for example, say on May 21st, I requested an FBA for my child due to one, two, three reasons. They always do at least three. Um, I have yet to hear a response for you can whatever they said. I heard a response on such and such date and then nothing since. I feel my son's needs are not being respected and met due to the fact that you're refusing to do an evaluation that is much needed based on one, two, three. I expect to hear back from you within 5 business days due to the fact that I initially emailed you back on May, such and such and such. All right. So you're referencing dates, you're referencing your request, you're referencing the fact that they did or didn't respond and that date. And then you're referencing the fact that they're not meeting your child's needs based on the fact of one, ignoring the fact that they need an evaluation, and two, that they are not doing the evaluation. Okay. So basically, that shows that they don't care. All right. So you need to make sure that's in writing. All right. So then if he gets into a fight, it's on them. Okay. Because you asked for that evaluation, you reminded them, you were on top of it, and they ignored it. So it's on them. It's an FBA, functional behavior assessment. If your child has any type of behavior concerns that are being exhibited, it could be as simple as escape, but not escape from a room, like escape from wanting to do work, then that is a reason to have a functional behavior analysis. All right, to figure out the function of the behavior, the hypothesis, and the antecedent. And then you move from there to determine if your child needs a BIP, which is a behavior intervention plan. All right. All right, guys. I will talk to you later. I will be live tomorrow. So make sure you watch out for me and make sure that you follow me on TikTok. I will talk to you soon.